Today, we're diving into something that's been quietly running the show for so many of us: perfectionism. If you ever felt like your wellness journey has to look a certain way, green smoothies every morning, flawless skin, daily workouts, zero processed foods, this episode's for you. Health is messy because life is messy, but we rise anyways, like a phoenix from the chaos, chasing wellness that actually fits our real lives, mind, body, and soul. I'm Jolene, a nutritional therapy practitioner and fellow hot mess, here to flip the script on health. On Messy Wellness, we rise from the ashes, embrace the chaos, fluff those phoenix wings, and fly into wellness with grit, grace, and zero F skimming. Let's begin. Okay, confession time. I used to track my food meticulously and obsess. And when I say obsess, I mean like obsessive compulsively obsess about making sure I matched each macro perfectly every single day. I weighed, I measured every single piece of food and drink that went into my mouth. And if I was off, I would search and search and search for that perfect snack to make them perfect again. Make sure my macro numbers were perfect. Always thinking it was some kind of exact science. And if I was 10 to 15 grams off, I'd be a failure and I wouldn't have any success. Only to later learn that there's no such thing as perfect macros. It's all an estimate. Do you ever get obsessed with doing everything right? Obsessed that you have to diet perfect, have perfect lifestyle habits in order to have any success at all? You see, perfectionism in wellness, it's sneaky. It doesn't always show up as I need to be perfect. Sometimes it sounds like I missed my workout, so I failed this week. I ate something bad, so I need to make up for it. I'll start over Monday again. It's that all or nothing thinking, that inner critic that says you're only doing well if you're doing everything right. And spoiler alert, right is usually someone else's definition. I've been there. I've had seasons where wellness felt like a checklist, not a relationship. And every time I didn't check all the boxes, I felt like I was falling behind. But here's the truth. Wellness isn't a performance. It's a practice. For all my high achievers out there, we have to start giving up this idea that a wellness practice should be a wellness perfection. There's no such thing as perfect wellness. Our body's constantly changing. I'm going to say it almost every episode. Our body's constantly changing. So what worked yesterday may not work with what's going on in your body, in your life, in your habits today. And sadly, as we chase perfect, we realize there's a cost. We need to understand and talk about what perfectionism actually is costing us. Emotionally, it's exhausting. You're constantly measuring yourself against an invisible standard that's not anything to do with you and your unique body. Physically, it can lead to burnout, overtraining, or even disordered eating. And then socially, it isolates us. We don't want to be seen unless we're on. And spiritually, well, it disconnects us from our own intuition, from our body's wisdom, and then from joy. When we chase perfect, we miss the magic of the messy middle, the part where growth actually happens. We're not living. We're trying to fit ourselves into a box that our body and our life and our spirituality and our mentality does not fit in. We need to get out of that box. We need to let go of this idea of perfection. There's no such thing. Once we finally realize that we can't be perfect on our wellness journey, we need to learn how to get rid of perfectionism. How do we detox all these ideas of dieting perfectly, of working out perfectly, of being the perfect person, the perfect daughter, the perfect spouse, the perfect mom, and just start doing things that bring us joy and health and happy relationships with others. So let's talk about how we actually can gently begin to detox from perfectionism. Not with more rules, but with a lot more grace. These practices aren't about fixing yourself. They're about freeing yourself from the pressures to be flawless and reconnecting with your body, your joy, your truth. We need to realize and accept that perfectionism thrives on extremes. It tells you that if you're not doing it all, doing everything, you're doing nothing. This is where the 80% rule comes in. It's your antidote. It's all about progress over perfection. These are all little buzzwords that you've heard, but I don't know if we ever looked at them. So instead of aiming for 100%, the perfect diet, the perfect routine, the perfect mindset, aim for 80%. That's still consistent. That's still powerful. And most importantly, it's sustainable. So try this. If you plan to meditate for 20 minutes, but only did 5, celebrate it. If you ate nourishing meals all week but had pizza on Friday, honor that joy. 80% is enough. You are enough. Now, in some of my past episodes, I've talked about the 90-10 rule, which is basically the same thing, but a little more strict. And that's really for doing things like trying to adjust your sweet tooth, adjust your eating habits to an extent for a short period of time, not long term. 80% truly is enough when we're talking about progress over perfection. Another detox practice is reclaiming your body's wisdom in the form of joyful movement. Perfectionism turns movement into punishment. It's all about burning calories, hitting goals, tracking metrics. But your body doesn't need punishment, it needs pleasure. Joyful movement is about tuning into your body, not measuring up, not comparing yourself to somebody else's body or ideals. So try this. Ask yourself, what kind of movement would feel good today? Maybe it's dancing in your kitchen. Maybe it's stretching in bed. Maybe it's skipping the gym and walking barefoot in the grass. Let movement be a celebration, not a chore. When we find movement that we enjoy, we look forward to doing it. It is no longer punishment. It's something we want to do. And it's something then we actually will do. So look for that. Look for something you enjoy doing to move that body. Now let's talk nourishment over aesthetics. Messy meals. The Instagram wellness culture has made food look like art. But real life isn't always a smoothie bowl and macro-balanced salads. Messy meals are about feeding yourself with love, not shame. Your plate doesn't have to look like a work of art. It's okay if you eat out of a takeout container. What matters is that you're actually nourishing your body and supporting your health with what you can that day. So try this. Notice how you talk to yourself around food. Are you labeling meals as good or bad? Can you shift to asking, did this meal satisfy me? Did it give me energy? Did it nourish my body? And then just let food be fuel, comfort, and connection, not a performance. There's a lot of talk about foods you should eat and shouldn't eat. But in reality, we need to look that we're getting the nutrients in any way that it fits in our lifestyle, rather than punishing ourselves if we took a frozen meal out that gave us all the vitamins and minerals and protein that we needed. So give yourself some slack and know that not all your meals are going to be perfectly healthy. Not all of them are going to be Instagram worthy. Some of us just throw food on a plate and eat it. We don't care that it's pretty. And that's okay. Focus about making sure you are fueling your body, you are nourishing your body, and you're not forcing food that you hate down your throat, because there is nothing worse than eating food you do not like. Another area is rewriting our inner script. Compassionate self-talk. Perfectionism has a voice. It's sharp, critical, relentless, ruthless, and degrading. Things like, you should be doing more. You're falling behind. You're not disciplined enough. You have no willpower. Compassionate self-talk is how we rewrite that script. So try things like this. When you catch a should, pause and replace it with could. I should work out today becomes, I could move my body if it feels good. I should eat clean becomes, I could choose something that feels nourishing. Notice how your body softens when you speak to it with kindness. Personally, one of the biggest things I have done when I flipped the script was, instead of saying, I can't have that, I started saying, I choose not to eat that. Because for me personally, and some of you will find this too, there are certain foods that don't agree with my body. Now, if I eat them, will I die? No, but I'll feel like crap. And who wants to feel like crap? So I choose not to eat certain foods. It's that simple. So replacing I can't eat with I choose not to really takes the power back into yourself. And then we cannot forget to celebrate small wins. Perfectionism, it often ignores the progress unless it's dramatic. But healing happens in the small, quiet moments. So try this. At the end of each day, name one thing you did to care for yourself. It could be drinking water, texting a friend, or saying no to something that drained you. Every small act of care is a rebellion against perfectionism. Now, this whole idea of ditching perfectionism and the 80-20 does not mean to go off the rails. What it means is it's okay to go at your own pace and do the best you can. And try to reframe it that you didn't screw up because you weren't perfect. You didn't fail at dieting and health because you weren't perfect. Wellness isn't perfect. Human beings are not perfect. It's time to celebrate who we are and what we do each day to make ourselves feel better. Let's anchor all of this with an affirmation. You can say it out loud, write it down, or just let it settle deep in your heart. I am worthy of care, even when things aren't perfect. My wellness is not a performance. It's a relationship with myself. Let that be your mantra this week. Before we wrap up, here's a reflection prompt for you. Where in your wellness journey are you holding yourself to unrealistic standards? What would it feel like to soften those expectations? Take a few minutes after this episode to journal, voice memo, or just sit with that question. You might be surprised with what comes up. And remember, you don't have to be perfect to be well. You just have to be present. My friend, you are not broken, destined, or to be stuck wherever you're at. You are becoming like a phoenix rising from the ashes, stronger, lighter, and happier. Rise up, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for riding the Hot Mess Express with me today. If you snagged a nugget of wisdom, a laugh, or just felt a little more seen, my mission was accomplished. Remember, this podcast is for education and entertainment. It is not medical advice. Check the show notes for that full legal jazz. Until next time, keep rising, keep laughing, and keep ditching perfection like the outdated trend it is. Stay messy, my friend.